Hi, well the purpose of this video is to show you how innovative and groundbreaking some of the harmony and theory behind Donald Fagen and Walter Becker's songwriting really was. I'm going to start with a 4-bar Rhodes piano theme, see if you can guess the track as well, and I'll go through the harmony. I'll play it first. So what's going on there? Well, I'll go through it chord by chord. There's a 2-chord pattern to start with, and it's a G sharp minor, 7 flat 5. There it is. You could think of it as a B minor, D F sharp B in the right hand with a kind of G sharp 7th. It's often the easy way to think of these more complex chords. And then it's moving straight down a chromatic semitone to G7 flat 5. And there's that flat 5 on the top. There's the 7th, there's the root, there's the flat 5. So let's move from one to the other. The melody is, and together with the chords it's, and we go back to that G sharp, same chord, but this time we move to a F sharp minor 7, first inversion with the A. There, and the melody is. So we've just gone D major 7, kind of switching between nice major 7s, D major 7, G, and that D major 9. So let's work it up to that point. The G sharp, 7 flat 5, chromatic to G7 flat 5, and then the F sharp, D major 7, G major 7 down in that inversion, D major 9, and then we've got this little run, and the melody goes, and this is just into the main verse. So I'll break down that section. It's an F sharp, and there's the 7th of the F sharp, there's the A. It's actually F sharp 7, sharp 9, that chord there. So I'll play it slowly, and then we're going down to just an F sharp 7. There you go, there's the F sharp, there's the root, and there's a kind of 6, and there's that sharp 9, and then F sharp flat 5. So really what he's doing is he's putting all these extra fancy notes on top of that F sharp 7, and going down in this melody. So you get this. Rather, there's the F sharp 7. This one I've actually transposed down to C, so I can really illustrate the harmonies and why it's it defies the normal songwriting, pop rock, or even country rock at that time of the period. It's early Steely Dan, and it starts like this. I'm going to do it in C, so C with a kind of sus9 at the top, played by a horn section. Then it goes to chord 6. Now I'm going to reharmonize it as if it were a very boring song. It might start on chord 1, there, and the melody might go chord 1 to 4 to 5, and back to chord 1. But instead, it actually, after that, instead of starting on chord 1, it starts on chord 6. There, so you've got chord 6, then to chord 2, then to chord 5, 7, and you do arrive finally at 1, chord 4, but then, and this is something that recurs in a lot of Steely Dan, certainly that Countdown to Ecstasy pretzel logic period, it goes to the flat 7. There, so you've got this 6, 5, 1, 4, and then the flat 7 there, back to 1, and these lovely falling chords. So there's an example of how they're just taking traditional harmony, altering it, but still allowing it to flow. It's a unique songwriting technique. Also, not just allow it to flow, but make it sound unpretentious. It's a unique characteristic, I think, of select few bands, and really highlights that Becker Fagen partnership. Okay, for this next one, I'm going to play you 4 chords out of context and see if you can work out by linking them what the song is. Also, I could then go into some analysis. The first chord is just A minor 7, and that repeats again later. And then you have this chord F6 and E7, and then a C, D7, C, D7. Now I'll play it with the bass line, same chords, but in context. Right, there's the C at the end, there's the D7, A minor, but with the bass line, 7th to the root, G, A, the C, E, G, no need for the A, bass line down to the 4th, 5th, 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 7th, again, but this is where it gets really creative. You've got a C in the right hand with an F in the bass, C on F, same bass line but with an F6. E7, sharp 5, sharp 9. Let's just go back to that E. This is a normal E. This is an E7. This is an E7 with a sharp 5. And this is an E7 with a sharp 5, sharp 9. In context, we've got the A minor bit, C on F, F6, there's the E7 sharp 5 sharp 9 with the D in the bass, and then a hop up to C, D7, 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 C. That E out chord is otherwise known as, and then a hop up to the normal straight C triads and D7s. Melody. So what's the song? Okay, for this one I'm gonna break down 2 sections of the piece. One is near the intro, just coming into the verse, and the next one is just before the repeat to fade. And it's like this. It starts with a B flat, then an F, then a B flat, and then an F. All the time you've got this F in the bass, and you'll hear this running rhythmic motif. So if I play it with a melody, it goes like this. Rhythm towards the end, but this time with a stepwise descending bass line. It goes like this. An E right at the end. Even though that says A flat, that's actually a a G sharp here. Same note, different notation. But the general key of this is right. It's kind of A minor, but then we're using B flat chords as well. And it starts with that F in the bass, and then the second inversion of B flat, which is there, then a root position of F, then first inversion B flat, then second inversion of F, and with the melodies just going, it's moving in sixths. But Donald Fagen uses the fifth in the bass. Instead of playing, he uses the A, which is the fifth of the D root. There. And then we go down to E minor. Instead of, that would be a normal E minor, he's using the G in the bass. Still an E minor, but with a G in the bass. That would be a normal D minor. This is D minor with F in the bass. And then to the E. So it all rolls in the left hand, but with unpredictable chords. E minor, D minor, E. So what's the song? Okay, this one starts with, some might recognise it already, just with an E. Pretty quick. There's a phasing effect as well. So the key is still E minor, but the mode that we're using, the scale, hasn't just got the F sharp like you can see on the score. It's got a C sharp too. So it's a Dorian mode, E Dorian. And you can create chords out of that. On top of that E bass. And when you add this rhythmic 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Here's the first chord. It's like an F sharp minor on E. It gets louder and louder. The intro. There it is. You probably know it by now. In fact, I'm sure if you hadn't got it after that or this, then you might not be as familiar with Steely Dan as you think you are. So, very quick, F sharp minor on the E, and that's actually an E minor 7, but we're just playing the shell of it, or otherwise known as a drop 2 with the E minor 7. So we're going from the F sharp minor on E to E minor 7, then down and to E minor, but it's bluesy and there's this bluesy roll. But keeping that driving bass line after we've had the real groove of the bass begins with this sort of kind of like a shuffle dotted rhythm. So we start with this triplet part, fast. And then soon we're into with a roll. There's kind of indications or suggestions of this kind of, that kind of boogie woogie style. That kind of concept. It's just these two chords. It's kind of E minor inversions. Higher inversion, F sharp minor, lower inversion, E minor. Okay, it's the opener to a very great album. Which is it? For this next one, here's the bass line. And that's just coming off this chord, which is the G sharp 7, sharp 5, flat 9. There's the G sharp, there's the 7th, there's the 3rd and the sharp 5, 7th and the flat 9, really heavily diminished suspense chord straight to the E7. And then straight afterwards, I won't overdub it now, but you've got this riff. So you've just had and then straight afterwards a little bit of a breakdown. The bass line is built around E7. So you're going from the very lowest E and then to the 6th and 7th root back to E. And the melody is going. So together it's. And then the organ's coming in, which is also built around E7. Except it starts with a 4th interval and then just moves on in thirds. Might have actually been an octave lower in the original. You can tell me in the comments. Okay, if I start this one just with the melody, it'll probably make sense for those very familiar with this track. Now I'll just add the chords, play it slowly. And now I'll play the same thing but call out the chords. Starts with an E minor 9, a kind of cluster. Then it goes to B minor 7, an A minor 7, and then an A minor 9 further down, and then, which is chord 5, B, of the key, which is E minor. The point about this one, it's very full of those clustered chords. In other words, you've got the D, F sharp and G all close together with an E in the bass. And then the melody is the E itself, and it's going down in fourths. B minor 7, you're playing the 3rd in the melody. And then the A minor 7, you're playing also the 3rd in the melody. And then further down, you've got the A minor 9, root, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th. And you've got this sharp 5 going onto the F sharp, which is the B chord, onto the E minor. So all together. I'll start just by playing the opening 2 chords. So the opening 2 chords are B minor 9, and then with an 11th on top. There it is. And then an E minor 11. So, and then there's little sort of hung 5th from the A. I think Michael Martian plays it. And then we're into the new section of the piece, little xylophone solo into the groove, and then later the Wayne Shorter, famous Steve Gadd Wayne Shorter solo sections. B minor 11, E minor 11, bass line, A, G with an A in the bass. There's the 5th. Then we're straight into G, but with an F on the G. So it starts with G, effectively just a tone down from what we've had before. A on G. Now F on G. G, there's the F. And then straight after that, a very unusual, very Steely Dan voicing. Probably not completely unique, but it's up there with the mu chord. It's an F sharp minor 11, but with an added sus2. So you've got this, and then move straight to the G sus2 with a. So going from the G section, here we go, and then G sus2. You must know the track by now. It might just have the same name as the album. Right, the melody of this one is a bit like a D minor 9, but right up there. And it starts with a kind of quaver pattern and then 2 triplets. There's the first one, there's the second. Then it moves to a drop 2 E7 chord with an A minor coming up. And then everything moves up a minor third to the G minor, drop 2. And then the chord 5, which is a flourish to the home key. And from chord 5 to chord 1, except it's like a broken chord, like a march. Not just the A, which would be A7, but it goes all the way up to the 9th and back down. So all together, it's this. Okay, this is an unusual one. It's the 10th track, and there'll be a cheat sheet after this so you can see how many you got right and how many you kind of got but weren't from the same album or a different similar sounding track on that album. This one has 2 melodic lines and they're kind of fighting against each other. That's the intro. It goes like this. About that tempo. So it's kind of loosely based on C but with a sharp 4 and a major 7 as well. Together it's... Don't know where it's going to go from there, but in early Steely Dan songwriting fashion, this is sort of pre-Can't Buy a Thrill, when I believe this was written. It just goes straight into straight C. And it's the G sharp 7 out of nowhere. And then an E minor 9. And it's chord 5 in the E minor key. So we've somehow managed to get to E minor 9 from kind of scattershot songwriting, but a bit of a novelty one. I'll play it all together. It was a really good fun video to put together. My deep love of this band knows no bounds. If you do like it, then please do subscribe, because I just want to plumb the depths or ascend the heights of Steely Dan, and knowing that you're all watching it always helps. So thanks for watching, and the cheat sheet's coming up now. Please do subscribe. Bye.